Hello there, Reason people. Pooh Bear here, and welcome to my channel. And today we're going to be looking at the Nectar Panorama T6, and we're going to be going through the installation and getting it up and running within reason. So this is my first unboxing video. So should we have a look and see what we've got inside the box? Feel quite nice indeed. They're a little bit tiny, these buttons, but the rest are okay. And we got the keyboard. Ooh. Not a bad way. Let's see what it's like once we've got that wired up. As you can see, I've now got the Nectar T6 on my desk, but it's not actually wired up at this stage. And what I'd very quickly say is, before you actually go and install this keyboard in your studio or wherever you're going to actually install it, is make sure that you actually get the serial number. Yeah, get that serial number from the bottom. There's a serial number underneath there. Make sure you get that from the bottom, because you're going to need that for the registration process. So let's go through the registration process and actually setting up the Nectar itself. So as you can see on the screen, this is for a new customer. You need to obviously fill in the details, and it even gives you the instructions what's going to happen. So once you've gone through this, you can then obviously add that serial number, and then they will make available the downloads for that product. And that's how they do it on the Nectar site. They don't have a download page where you can just go and download all your drivers and everything until you've actually registered the product, and then they just show you what you can download. I've already obviously got an account here, so I'm just going to log in using my account. And as you can see, obviously these are all my products which I can download the different drivers for. So what I need to do now is obviously enter my serial number. Okay, it's now telling me here it is. It recognises that product. It's now down to me to say, I can select more of these at a later date if I wish, but all I'm interested in my particular case is Windows 10. I'm actually interested in Windows 7 because I do have another machine which I run Windows 7 on. When it comes down to the door, well, with me, the only one I'm interested in is Reason. There it is. So I'm not interested in the rest. Let's just quickly submit that. And so now I've now got a new section. And as you can see, it just got my different files. So first thing I want to download is obviously going to be the driver software, and obviously save it to a directory of your choice. I actually have a directory set up for my downloads and hardware stuff, so I was going to quickly save that. And then obviously what we need to do, sorry, let's come up on another screen so we can pull this over. So here, this is the actual zip file itself. So obviously, first thing to do, anything like this, also we've got a firmware upgrade as well. So I'm just going to pull that out. In fact, I'm going to create myself a new folder under here, and let's call that T6. Oh, grab that and put that into the D6 folder. And it should be really a simple case of really just running up the setup. The firmware is just a firmware, that's fine. We'll go through that in a second. Simply just going to click next, normal sort of agreement which you need to agree to, what you're wishing to have support for. Keep it simple, but I'm actually going to put both down. Can't really see there being too much difference of what they're actually going to install there, because it's going to be the same mappings and things. And that's it, installed. Nice and straightforward. So now I'm going to be quite happy to actually plug my Nectar in, because I say I haven't done that at this particular stage so far. And I haven't talked about, obviously we've got ourselves a USB, we've got a MIDI out, we've got a foot pedal, and there's also an expression pedal as well as your on offs. I happen to have all my cables to hand already. Obviously it doesn't matter if you don't have any expression pedals or anything else. That's the sort of thing I'd recommend for this kind of keyboard. And let's power up. So I'm being prompted there for a firmware update. I don't know if I can get a closer shot of that. So let's go and get the firmware updated. So from where we download them files and we unzip them, obviously as I say, we've got the firmware directory, and this is the file that we need to run. It is NK update. So let's just double click on that. Okay, so obviously it doesn't recognize it. So I'm going to just click on the more info and just say run anyway. Okay, so now it's actually telling me I'm not in my firmware update mode. That's because when you power on the Nectar, you've got to hold down a certain key combination, and that should get us into the firmware mode. And to get all that information, that should actually be in this setup file. And it's usually hold down a couple of keys. Let's have a look and see what we've got here. Okay, so here we go. Oh, there we go. So we need to switch it on. Fader 9 plus the shift. So it's going to be these two keys here. Two keys there. So I'm just going to power it off. I'm going to hold them two keys down. Power it back on again. Screen's absolutely blank. It's not really telling me anything. Let's go back to switch back to that program. Okay, here we go. It's now telling us it's actually in the firmware update mode. So we simply need to load the file. So this is where you have to remember where you've installed stuff. Nice. Come up with that actual, that's the actual file we actually downloaded earlier. I'm just going to click on open. So now it's loaded, so we now need to hit the program to program it. So it's a couple of stage things you've got to do. You know, so we've got to put the actual keyboard into update mode. We then load the bin file, the actual firmware, and now we just got to click on program. And obviously at this stage, make sure whatever you do firmware, you're not running off the battery. Make sure you're always running off the mains. So let's just let this run through. Excellent. So that's done. I'm pretty sure there used to be like a verify, but obviously they've built the verify straight in because it's obviously verified it as well. So the next thing what we need to do is obviously restart the Nectar and close that updater. So I'm just going to close that off. And next minute I'm going to do is pick this off. Click this back on again. And there we go. We've actually got ourselves a bit more of a screen going on there. So I think the next thing we need to do is get Reason up and running. So I've got my reason up and running now, so what I need to do is obviously bring it across, and what we need to do is set up the surface controllers. So obviously under Edit, Preferences, Surface Controller, and yeah, I've got quite a lot of surface controls already set up. What we should be able to do is just click on the Auto Detect, and it should whiz through these, and it should then find our nectar. Okay, now we've finished detecting, and really you should put these at the bottom, and hey, there we go, we've actually got the two. And you get two because obviously one's to do with the mixer, and the other one's to do with the actual keyboard itself. What we used to have to do with the other one as well was actually to lock off the surface controller. I don't know if we still need to do that or not, but under options you've got this surface lock in here, and what you usually do is, so the mixer mode, you don't want it to follow the master keyboard. I've got a lot of stuff going on here. We want this to actually be locked out to the master section. So we click on that and we lock the mixer mode to the master section. So it's time to test it. So let's just grab ourselves an instrument across, bring up the keyboard, and it should be working. So let's put on instrument mode, and yeah, so we've got things already mapped out. So let's see if things are moving already. And obviously we should have a mixer mode as well, and I'm actually moving the slider, sorry the camera's not on it, but yeah, that seems to be working as well. So excellent, we're all go. So the final bit of the setup I'm going to look at is to do with the curves. Obviously there's the velocity sensitive curves. The encoders have got a curve on them to how fast you're going to go with the values, and the actual pads themselves also have a curve on them. And there's something to do with the aftertouch. I don't know if that's a curve on there, or it's a delay, or what's going on with that. So I want to have a look at that. I think the first thing I'm going to do is just pull myself up one of my patches. Where are we? Something which I know is going to have strings and piano. That sounds good to me. So I believe that's got some aftertouch. I think it's got a little bit probably. Yeah. So we've got some aftertouch on that as well. So to get to the curve section, there's two ways of doing it. If you press both the octave down and octave up, that will take you into the global menu, or you can just go into, click on the internal key and then the setup menu, and then there's this little strip here, which I missed when I very first looked at this keyboard. There are actually 4 little buttons here, and you can obviously hit enter for global, and then we've got next page, and that takes us to our settings, and you just use your encoders here to actually change them. So the first one is to do with the keyboard, which goes from very soft, so I'm going to try and play this at the same velocity, and then I'm going to turn it up. That last one was fixed, so that's obviously playing at 127. Doesn't matter how soft you play that. So we've got a hard 2 there. There's a hard 1, standard, soft, and soft 2. The problem I'm finding actually with that soft is because I'm having to hit it so hard, I'm bringing the aftertouch straight in. So that aftertouch is very, very, very sensitive indeed. And there is an aftertouch. It is a delay. Okay, it's an aftertouch delay. So let's turn that up. Ooh, not much of a delay. There is a slight delay there. It might be hard to pick up actually on the video. I don't know what that time, it goes up to 255, so I'm not sure if that's, I don't believe that's samples. Yeah, the aftertouch is a little bit sharp for my liking. As I say, we've got pads as well, which starts at standard, goes to hard, fix, soft, linear. So for my preference there, what I've actually selected is a hard one, linear, with 255 on the aftertouch, and probably in the encoders, I'll probably end up going for a fast. It doesn't like there's no second encoder. That was one of the nice things about the P series. You could hold the shift key down and you could actually slow the encoders down. So obviously on some devices, I can see me jumping into this to actually turn that encoder down. Oh, there's a linear as well, linear step. Oh, that's could be quite a good one. Oh, yeah, I might actually leave that on linear. See how I get on with that. So yeah, so as I say, for keyboardists, they're going to find obviously these settings quite important. I'm not a real keyboardist, so like what I've got there. Yeah, that aftertouch is winding me up. It's probably quite high up. I probably was experimenting doing something with this. It is a nice keyboard. Actually, I've turned my curve back down to standard. Yeah, I say need to play around with them settings. I say as that's part of the setup, I really do believe setting the cursor was part of the setup. I am going to be doing a couple more videos. I'm going to definitely be doing a video on the mappings. So we're going to have a good look at the mappings because I do a lot of mappings for the P series. One thing I've noticed straight away is we've got actually 8 banks by the looks of it. So it looks like they've got 8 pages and they've got what I call these quick keys. This is something I introduced on the P series, I don't know, about a year and a half, 2 years ago, because I'm not a menu driven person. One of the things I really loved about Reeds, and especially with the old devices, you can see every single parameter. The problem with the new devices, we've now got panels, so we're hiding things again. So come on, head ahead, open up the rack so we can have bigger devices. So it's nice that we've got these quick keys, so obviously we can then very, very quickly jump, between oscillator there 1 and 2. We've got some filters, envelopes, LFOs, and of course, even though these are saying like LFOs, when it comes down to the mappings, these could be mapped to something totally different, but at least we've got a bit of a standard that we can work towards. So I will be doing something about the mappings. I will be obviously doing another video where I am going to be going through a lot more of the controls, because I think there's the repeat. I think there's a chord mode built into this, so I'll have a look at that as well. And we'll have a look, obviously a lot more look at the transport bar and how it browses, and have a look at Nectarine as well. I am also going to be doing another video, if I might roll it up into one of the other ones, where I'm going to be looking at the comparison, really, because I own an Impact 61 Plus. I've also got a P4 and a P1, so and this is obviously meant to be the mid-range keyboard, so I'll do a comparison between the three. Just from I haven't like spent hours and hours on this thing. I have really literally unboxed it, shoved it on my desk, and made this video. So what I've felt of it so far, and the controls and the way it feels and the pads, I really like the pads actually. Yeah, it's a high-end mid-range keyboard. That's what I will say. I'll definitely say it's a high-end mid-range keyboard. But I will do a comparison between the three, so you can see what's going on with the difference between them, and really maybe where your money is going or not. I would say, without a doubt, with this keyboard, I think a lot of money's probably gone into the actual keyboard itself. But yeah, it seems to be, so far, I'm going to be sort of giving it the thumbs up. As I say, let's spend a bit more time with it, and I'll do some more videos for you. Anyway, I'm starting to waffle like I usually do. Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye for now.